welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe. And if you're not an existing subscriber, welcome back. So today is going to be the start of my makeup collection / my inventory videos, because I want to try and do these every year if I can. I did one last year at the start of 2021, so I want to try and keep myself accountable if I can, especially more this year, because when I did my inventory this year, I've accumulated so much stuff since last year, so I definitely think all of the numbers from last year will have gone up for each of the categories. I think even for pretty much all of them. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go through category by category. There's going to be different inventories. So this one is going to be my base products, and then I'm also going to include in this as well mascaras and stuff, just because they are in my second drawer, which is down here. And then we're going to move on to bronzers, blushes and highlights. Then there'll be face palettes. I don't know if I'm going to do face palettes and eyeshadow palettes or just face palettes. Then eyeshadow palettes is a different video because I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes and a lot of face palettes. And then lip products. So we're going to get started today with my, like I said, my base products, which will be my primers, foundations, concealers, powders, setting sprays, brows, mascaras, eyeliners. I'm kind of going to do all of that. So enough rambling, let's get into it because this video is going to be long. I'm not going to go into detail about everything. There is some stuff that you might not see in here that I may have decluttered since then, because I know there is a couple of things in projects that I've tried and I just haven't enjoyed, so I've got rid of them. So I'm sure in the next update video I will show you them. So let's get started with primers. So I do have all of my makeup in these containers which look really dirty, but there is also some like beauty boxes like I've reused to hold some makeup as well, because I don't have enough of these. I do need to buy some more of these because I would like to organise my makeup a little bit better, and today I might use this as an opportunity as well, but for now I'm going to just talk through the primers. So the first one I have is this one from e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Face Primer. Not a favourite, but one I can keep, but one I will continue to use. I'm going to talk about both of these at the same time because they are by the same brand. This is by Jecca Black and this is the Hydrate Primer, and then we have the Glow Drops. This one is in Rose Pearl. I've tried some of these before and I wasn't a huge fan of them. I think they were in Champagne. They were so glittery, but this one is the perfect primer highlighter for me. So I love both of these. I was very surprised at how much I liked both of these, but I really do, and combined together they are beautiful. Again, I've got a couple of Charlotte Tilbury products. Both of these are in projects this year, so you will know that they're in my collection. I have the Brightening Youth Glow, which has been a favourite for a long time. This is pricey at £39, which I don't know whether I would buy it again. I've not found an exact copy of this, but I have found a high street highlighter primer that I do much prefer to this now actually. So this is still nice and I could see myself in the future repurchasing once I finished it. It's not something I go out and repurchase straight away. And then I do also have the Hollywood Flawless Filter as well by Charlotte Tilbury. I do like this, but similar. I actually preferred this one over this one, but it still is a nice product, just not something I would go ahead and repurchase again, I don't think. So this is one of the first primers that are definitely more affordable that I do think is going to replace this, and it is by L'Oreal. This is the Glow Cherie and this one is in Light Glow. This is beautiful. It smells amazing. The way that it makes my skin look when I put this on is just amazing. So I would recommend, if you have been interested in trying these, if you don't have a budget to splurge on these because these are pricey, of course being Charlotte Tilbury, try this because it is beautiful and it's hydrating, it gives a beautiful glow and it's cheap. The most I think I've ever seen this for is about £10. So really do like that, and I would repurchase this one once I finished it. The next one I have is this one by W7. So again, this is affordable. I do prefer this one, but this one is still nice, and this one's even cheaper. This one is less than £5. So the effect of this is very similar with this product as well. I would repurchase that one as well. And then we have this one, which I think is even cheaper. This is by Primark, and this is the Prep and Perfect Illuminating Primer. This is worth £4. This smells nice. This is also really beautiful on the skin as well. I haven't tried too much Primark makeup. I just didn't think it would be that good of quality, but everything I have tried I've been blown away by. So if you can get your hands on this, if you go to Primark, try it because it is nice. Next one is this, and I don't really know too much how I feel about this one. I've tried it a few times and I liked it when I tried it, but I haven't used it enough to figure out like my final opinions on what I think to it. So this is one that I do definitely need to put in a project at some point, to maybe my project 10 uses, to, you know, make a decision on how I feel about it and whether it's something I want to keep in my collection. But I do like this Monu Skin brand. The Monu Spa, I tried a product from that and I loved it. The Monu Skin one, I haven't really found anything that I absolutely love, but I'm definitely willing to give this one a go. The next one is by Revlon. This is the Rose Glow. This, unfortunately for me, I just do not like the packaging on this. It ruins the product for me when the product's in packaging like this, because the pipette never works. I don't know why, and I think if I remember before, I think Jessica Braun mentioned she had the same problem with this one. So what I do have to do, sometimes occasionally it does work, the pipette. What I do have to do with this is just take the top off and pour it out to my hand. It's okay. It's not my absolute favourite, but it is okay. Not something I would repurchase again, but I will continue to use it up. Next one I have is Benefit Professional. This is a classic. This always makes its way back into my collection. And this one is, I think this is a, yeah, this isn't a mini, but it's not the full size either. This is just a classic, you know, it's a staple. I don't think this is my favourite pore primer. I'll get onto that one in a minute, but this is still good, you know, and definitely something I will use. I then have the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm. I don't hate this, but I don't love it either. I feel like it's not something I would ever tell people to go out and buy, but I have used it. I just find it's not the absolute best, and I do want to see if I can try and pan this year to get it out of my collection, because it's not something I love. I'm just left with my pore filling primers, and I've just been through this one, but after touching Sol, I think that is No Problem Primer. I like this one. I got this in a members pick FabFitFun when I first picked up FabFitFun, and yeah, I was really excited to get this actually, because I'd wanted to try it for a long time. I'm wearing this now, and I don't hate it. I have a cheaper alternative pore filling primer that I prefer, so it's not going to be something I can buy. And also, I don't think this is actually that easily accessible in the UK. I think when I had a look before, I think it was sold on Superdrug, but I couldn't find it anywhere else. Please let me know below if this is sold, you know, if you've seen it on other websites, but I don't think this is actually that easily accessible. Next one is by Tarte. This one's quite a recent addition to my collection. I got this in a glossy box, like mystery box, which was to feature Tarte, which it did. I don't love this. I've tried it a handful of times, and I think I compare everything to the next primer, my final primer, which I'm going to talk about. I just don't love this as much, and I have a feeling this will be expensive because it's Tarte. And this is, I think, I want to say this is the first makeup product I've tried by Tarte, and I haven't been wowed. And then last but no means least, for my primers, which, to be fair, this primer section is full and I definitely don't need any more primers for a while, is this by e.l.f. This is the Paulus Putty Primer. I love this. I just love the way that it does blur my pores. I've used quite a bit of it, and this is so cheap. They have quite a few different versions of this now. I think, is there like an illuminating one, which I don't know whether that's actually a pore. I wouldn't think that would be a pore filling one, would it? An illuminating primer, because I wouldn't want to be illuminating my pores, but I do really, really like this one, and I can see myself repurchasing this one in the future to blur my pores, because as I'm getting older, I'm finding there are more pores appearing on my face now, so I do really, really like this, and this is super affordable. That is all of my primers. What I'm going to do is, I'm on the screen now, I'm going to put how many primers I had in 2021 in January when I last did this. I'm going to tell you now how many I have here, because I have my inventory. Here I have 16 primers. So at the start of 2022 for primers I have 16, which is a lot of primers. I am working my way through them though, and I'm going to make a really good effort this year to try and finish some of these primers. So that is my primer collection. And next we're going to move on to foundations. I don't have a huge amount of foundations, and I'm not mad at that, because I feel like this is one bit of my collection that I feel is under control. First one I have in my collection is this one by Charlotte Tilbury. I used this one today. I've got a good opinion now on what I think to this. I wouldn't get this again, mainly because it definitely gives more of a matte finish to the skin. I'm much more of a dewy skin kind of girl, and I think even if you try and match this with a glowy primer, it still just makes it matte. And I don't put a huge amount of this on, so I don't find the coverage to be super full. And I find that this can look quite cakey, and also towards the end of the day, it rubs off my nose, which to be fair, a lot of foundations do it anyway. But I think for the price of this is I think about £34, is it? This is pricey, so I wouldn't get it again. I actually got this free when I bought so much on Tilbury. They usually do like promotions sometimes where they give you free foundations. So that's how I got that one. And then the second high-end one, these are the only two high-end foundations I've got in my collection. The rest of them are all high street. I have the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation. I bought this because of Jessica Braun, because she raves about this foundation. And I don't mind it. I just think I prefer my high street ones. My favourite foundation is by Rimmel. And I wanted to be wowed by this, but it just didn't blow me away. It's not something I would repurchase again. I'm of course still going to use it, but I don't think I'd repurchase this. I'd like to try Sheer Glow next. Is it Sheer Glow? I think that's what it's called, by NARS. I want to try that one next and see what I think to that. But unfortunately for this one, I didn't love it, which is a shame. Okay, let's talk about my favourite foundation. And it is by Rimmel, and it is the Lasting Radiance. This one is the one I'm currently using. This one's a backup. I don't usually try to keep backups if I can, but I saw this for £3.99 on a website, and I was like, yes, I'm picking that up, because this usually retails in Superdrug and Boots for £9.99. So when I saw this for that price, I was like, yeah, I'm picking it up. So I absolutely love this foundation. This is the foundation I will wear when I am going out, and I can layer it and it just looks really beautiful. I will always buy this. This is my go-to. Just love it. What I found I've really enjoyed for everyday is this one by Revlon. This is the Photo Ready Candid. This is just so beautiful. I wasn't expected to love this as much as I do. It just gives a beautiful finish to the skin. Like I said, definitely more everyday for me. These are more my going out ones. This one I would say is my everyday. So if I could only have two foundations in my collection, like one that you'd wear every day, it'd be this one, and one that you could wear like on nights out, etc., it'd be this one. I love this one. I'm going to repurchase this once I've finished it. I then have this one by The Ordinary. This is the Serum Foundation. This one is in one of my projects at the moment. I find that this one can look really cakey on the skin, even if you don't put a huge amount on. This is a really watery foundation. The way I do my foundation is I put it onto my hand and then use my sponge to blend it in. But even then, I find it looks really cakey, and it gets cakier as the day goes on. So it's not something I would get again. It is affordable. It says it's meant to be lightweight, but I don't find this very lightweight, so not something I would buy again. And then I have this one by Revolution Pro. This is the foundation drops. I had these before and I finished them up, and I got it again because I do really like these. Again, this is a nice everyday foundation for me. I like to alternate between the Revlon one and these ones because these ones are nice. And it is quite watery like the Ordinary one, but I find this one doesn't look cakey, so I really like that one as well. And that one's affordable. I think it's even cheaper than the Revlon one. I really do like that one. So that is all of my foundations. So again, like I said, what I'm going to do after I finish each category is I'm going to put the number of how many I had when I did it in 2021. The number I have here is 7. I'm only using 6 because I haven't opened the back up. So I do only have 6 foundations if you count the ones that are open, 7 if you count the one that isn't. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's pretty good, and like I said, I don't mind having the backup of this because I love it, and I'm using all the rest of them. So there is three here that once I finish them I won't repurchase, but the other ones I would. Now we're going to move on to concealer. So this is going to be my little section here for concealer. Let's start with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. This has been in my project since the beginning of 2021, and it's in my project now. When I stopped using this, I realised how much I did actually like this. Before I thought it was just an okay one, like wasn't anything that I'd race out and repurchase. And I still don't think I would race out and repurchase it, but I did miss it, and I do think I would actually repurchase it in the future, which has surprised me. But I had another concealer like this, which I'm going to show you soon, which I felt that exact same way, then repurchased it because I missed it. This is less than £4, I think, so this is such a steal for a concealer. And I used this all last year and I'm still using it now, so Pretty good value for money. Let's talk about the one I was just referring to. So it is the Nas Soft Mat. So I used a full pot of this and I was like, oh, I just don't think I'm going to repurchase it. I don't love it. Then when I didn't have this in my collection, I missed it like crazy. This is definitely one I wear more when I go out though, because it is a little bit more full coverage than what I would usually be fair on a day-to-day basis, but I do really like this for when I like, you know, want to look nice and glam. So I do really like that one. And then the other one I usually use when I'm like going out to more spot conceal than anything is, sorry I keep knocking the camera, is this one by Rimmel. This is the Lasting Radiance. It matches the foundation. I don't love this one as much as I do the foundation because this is the lightest colour. It's 010 Ivory. Now I get light porcelain in the foundation, so this is just a tad bit dark compared to the foundation. But I use it to spot conceal. I don't think I would repurchase this again. If once I finished it, I'm not going to repurchase it just because I don't love it that much. Another concealer though that I do actually really like and is again this one from Revlon. This is the Photo Ready Candid Concealer. What I will say is though, this one again is just a bit darker than the foundation, but I can make this one work for my under eyes. It's just not something that's going to brighten my under eyes, which is, you know, fine. I don't always want that. So I can use that occasionally for this, but I do also use this to spot conceal as well. But I was really surprised by this. I do enjoy this one as well. Next one I have is the NYX Born to Glow. So I finished the foundation last year for this and I do want to try and pan this year if I can, because I don't hate this, but I don't love it either. It's not a favourite. I'm not wowed by this, so it's not going to be, I want to pan it and it's not going to be something I would repurchase. Next one is this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is actually a colour corrector in Pale. I've been using this and I have been blown away by how much I like this. This is in a project, but once I've finished my usage goal on this, I'm going to keep this in my makeup bag to use all the time because I do think it makes a difference. I'd love to know if you know a cheaper version of this because this is pricey, of course, like I said, with it being Charlotte Tilbury, but I'd love to know below if you know of a cheaper version, but I do really like that. Next one is this by e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer. So I think I had this in my Project 10 uses last year, I think it was. I'm assuming this is meant to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I've never tried that. I like it. I'm not wowed by it. I will use it up, but it's not going to be something I'd repurchase. And then this last one by W7. This is the HD Concealer. I've not tried this enough to tell you what I think about it, so it needs to be something I will have to put in a project maybe this year to see what I think to it. So that is all of my concealers, and I have 7 concealers here. So I do think that's more than enough. Concealers take me forever to use up, so I definitely don't need any more concealers anytime soon. But I have also put the colour corrector into that as well because I'm just going to class that as a concealer because it does conceal my dark circles. I think I can do better, but 7 isn't awful, I don't think anyway. Okay, and now we're going to move on to powder. So powder does just sit here, I don't have a container for that. So the first one I have is this, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder. This is the one I'm just using exclusively. I don't really, similar to like these other ones, I always like use different ones, but with powder, I just use the one that I've been using because I don't see the need in grabbing multiple. However, I will say when I want something that's more glam, I do reach for something else, but this is the powder I'm using. As you can see, I've got pretty good pan in this. I'm hoping to finish this year. Powder takes me roughly about a year or so to finish, so I'm hoping by the middle of the year I'll have this done, but I don't hate this. This is it's a pretty good powder. All powders kind of make you matte anyway, unless it's an illuminating one, but I don't mind this. I actually think it's a pretty good powder. Next one is just this one from e.l.f. that I picked up when I did a full face of e.l.f. This was about £3. It wasn't expensive, and this is just a good bog standard powder. Nothing to complain about. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it does its job. Not really much else to say about that one. Next one that I'm not going to spend too long on because I've not tried it yet is this one by W7. It is the Gotta Glow Translucent Luminous Setting Powder. So I do have one that is luminous. However, looking at this, doesn't look too translucent to me. But I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say what I think about that. My favourite favourite powder of all time, and I think in my last year's collection video I was like, oh, there's no point me spending loads of money on a powder because it's not something I use a lot, etc, etc. And then I bought this Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I panned one of these in 2021 and I repurchased it because I love the way that this makes my skin look. It makes it look flawless, it makes it look blurred. Absolutely love this one, and I will continually keep buying it because this is the one that I gravitate towards when I want to look glam. It's beautiful. And then what I have done this year, which is a little bit different to last year, is I've actually incorporated my face palettes and stuff if it has a powder in it, and I've done the same for bronzers, blushes and highlights as well. In 2021 I just put them all as face palettes, but what I've done this year is I've actually gone through and looked at all my palettes and gone, right, okay, there's a bronzer in that one, I'm going to put that in my inventory, because I was finding I was just using my singles and not my face palettes, and I'm trying to avoid that. This was my Pan That palette last year, and I did repress the two powders. So these are the two powders I'm referring to. I'm not talking about this one because this one's too dark for me. These are also two powders. I'm going to have these done this year. This one is pretty much nearly done. I think maybe a month and that one should be done. And hopefully the same with this one. I'm hoping to have these done by March at the latest. I'm so happy I'll have the powders done, and I'm working really hard on the contours, but we're not talking about those. So those are the two powders as well that I have, but I'm not going to put that in there. I have 6 powders, 4 there, and then the 2 in my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour. I don't mind, I'm happy with that. I think I definitely have more this year than I did last year. I'm happy with that. I won't have to buy powder for a long time. So that is my first drawer. Now we're going to move on to the second drawer. Okay, so this is my second drawer. I just have some sponges and stuff here at the back, which I'm not going to mention in this video, so I've just kept them in the drawer. But in this drawer, I keep my setting sprays, my brow products, my eyeliners, my mascaras. I know they're not all technically classed as base, but I'm going to put them in this video. So I'm actually going to start with the setting sprays, and I just have a glossy box lid that just holds my setting sprays. I'm not going to spend too long on my setting sprays because a lot of these I haven't opened or tried yet, so I can't tell you what I think. So the first one is this one by Laura Geller. This is the Spackle Mist Restore Coconut Water one. Sounds lovely, but I've not tried it yet. I then have the KVD Locket. I do think this, yeah, this is Kat Von D. I got this in a mystery box in December. I've heard really good stuff about this, but I've not tried it. One I'm really excited to try is this one by Tarte. This is the Watermelon Bear Setting Spray. I love watermelon scents, and I loved the primer in this range, so I've got high expectations for this. I got that in a FabFitFun. I'm going to go through all the ones that I haven't used first, and then we'll talk about the other ones that I have. So I then have the W7 Splash of Paradise Prime and Set Face Mist in Juicy Watermelon. I think this is one where you can use it as a primer, you can use it to finish your look. I'm going to use it as a setting spray. We then have this one by Saint Lux Setting Spray. I got this in a glossy box. I've not tried it. I hadn't even heard of this brand before then. I then have a couple of MAC Fix Pluses. I still haven't tried this. I put this one in my Beauty A to Z this year because I'm determined to try MAC Fix Plus this year because I've not tried it. So I have a mini one and then another little mini one, but just not as mini as this. The other 3 I have tried, and I will talk about them now. So I have this one by Benefit. This is the Professional Super Setter. I don't love this. It's not a favourite. I mean, it's not awful. I much prefer a setting spray that gives more of a dewy look. This I find just doesn't really do that, so not something I would get again. Then I have this one by e.l.f., which is in my 22 in 2022. This is the Illuminating Misting Set. This smells so strong of like chemicals. I don't know why. I haven't had it that long. I bought it the later half of 2021, so I don't know why it smells like that. It just smells strong. But it's a nice setting spray. You definitely don't need too much of this because you can go overboard. But it is a good, affordable one. But I've got another one that I prefer, which I'm going to talk about now, so I don't think I would repurchase that. And then my favourite setting spray, which to be fair, I never thought I would say this because last year when I was talking about setting sprays, I was like, I just don't love setting sprays. It's not going to be something I will repurchase or get. I think I had about 2 setting sprays in my collection last year, so you can actually see this has definitely increased in 2021. But my favourite setting spray is this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This makes your makeup look absolutely beautiful. Again, I use the powder in this, I use the setting spray in this. I just wish I loved the foundation as much as I love these products, but I don't. But this is beautiful. This is just the, I think this is the mini. I'm definitely going to buy this in, I don't even buy it in a full size or even just a mini size, because this is really good for travelling. But I love this. This is definitely my favourite setting spray. So that is all of my setting sprays. I have 9 setting sprays. Like I said, I think I had about 2 last year, so that's definitely increased, but I'm working on these 2 setting sprays here, so hopefully that's at least 2 out of my collection and I can work on some more in 2022. Okay, now I'm going to move on to brows. They just sit down here in my drawer. The first one is this one by e.l.f. This is the, just like the crayon pencil. I got it in neutral brown. I've used this before. It's a good brow pencil. I picked this up when I did my full face of e.l.f. because I just knew it was a good eyebrow pencil, and it also does have the spoolie on the end. So I'm going to talk about the ones I haven't used again, just because I can't really talk too much about them because I haven't tried them yet. So I have this Ofra one. This is universal. When a brow pencil says it's universal, I'm like, is it? I mean, you can press lighter, or you can press harder, but still. But yeah, I've not tried this one yet. Next one is by W7. This is the Super Brows, and I got this one in brown. That's a good affordable brow pencil. I then have a couple of Benefit products that I haven't tried before. So I've got the Precisely My Brow, and I got the Highbrow Duo Pencil. I'm going to keep this with my brows because I will use it on near my brows. I've wanted to try Benefit products for a while, so I managed to pick up a brow set at Christmas for a really good deal, so I'm happy with that. I then also have a Gimme Brow. Now I have tried the Gimme Brow before. I borrowed my sister's, God, years ago now to try, and I got it in, the shade I got this in is 3 because that's my sister's, and I found out that worked pretty well for me. I really like this. I do like my brow gels, so I'm looking forward to being able to use this. The one I'm using consistently is this one by Winky Lux. This is the Unibrow, again another universal brow pencil. Again, similar with the powders, I only use one brow pencil until it's finished, and this is the one I'm using at the moment, and this is in a project. And I have tried this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Brow Cheat. I didn't get the right shade in this for me, so I think that's why I just don't really enjoy it that much. It's difficult to try and figure out what your shade is when it comes to this, but it is quite a fine pencil. I can make it work, and I will make it work, but it's a pricey product for a brow pencil when I know there is cheaper on the market that I can use. So that is all my brow products. I have 9 brow products here. I think I definitely had less last year, but I will get through these. I definitely don't need to buy any more brow products as well. I feel like I'm going to say that for every category of my collection, because for some reason it has just expanded hugely over 2021. Down here then goes my eyeliners. I don't have that many eyeliners because I don't really wear eyeliner, but this one I got from my sister. This one is the Quick Flick for Perfect Wings, and it's one where it's got a stamp and then you draw the line. I'm rubbish at eyeliner, so I feel like this one might be the best one to start with, so that's why I've kept that one. My sister gave it to me, and I definitely want to try it. I'm just not a massive fan of eyeliner. But I have kept another 2 here. So I just have the Rhodial Smoky Eye Pen in black, just in case I do want an eyeliner. And then I do have a gold one by Tarte, you know, just in case I wanted to have a play and play with a gold liner. I do have, as you can see, 3 eyeliners. I don't know how many I had last year, if any, because like I said, I don't really use eyeliner, but I have 3 this year. And then the last category for this video is my mascaras. Now I know technically it's not base products and neither is eyeliners, but this is just where it sits, so I'm going to put it in this video. So some of these mascaras aren't open, so again I'm just going to run through the ones that I just have in backup. So I have this one by Laura Geller. This is the Everyday Excellence. I got this in a cohorted. I then have the Ofra HD Volumizing Mascara. Again, got this from cohorted. I have the Maybelline The Colossal Go Extreme. I got this from my best friend in December in my advent calendar. I have the Laura Mercier Caviar Volume Mascara. Got this from cohorted as well. I feel like there's a trend here. I have the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I think I got this in a special edition from Glossy Box. I then have this one by W7. This one is Flirty Eyes. There is so many good reviews about this on the W7 website, so when I was bought a full face of W7, I was like, I'm going to try this. And then I have this one by LA Girl. This is the Flashy Big and Bold mascara. I got this in a mystery box. I've not tried too much from LA Girl, so I don't know how I feel about the brand. And then these are my 3 open mascaras at the moment. I only have, I want to say maximum 3 open at a time because I don't like to have too many open. So this one's the oldest one that I have open, and I think this one is due to be like finished in March, but I think it might be even early because this is already drying up. This is the Lancome Lash Idol. I think that's how you say it. This is a nice mascara. It is, but it's pricey. I then have this one by Marc Jacobs. You can't get Marc Jacobs makeup anymore, but this is a nice mascara. And then I have this one which my sister picked up for me. This is the L'Oreal X Fiber False Lash. I don't love this one. It makes me look like I've got a little bit like spider leg lashes, but I've only just opened this in January, so I need to have a play with it a little bit more. So that is it. That is my collection / inventory video for my base products. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and it'd mean the absolute world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. So my next video will be my bronzers, blushes and highlights. So until my next video, thank you for watching. See you later.